All right, thank you so much for being able to step in right there. So now it's Zach from Occupy Wall Street.
Well, Zach from Noisebridge, but I'm helping out Occupy.
All right.
But yeah, so I'm actually helping out Occupy SF. Me and a few Noisebridge people started up a group called Power Station. And the idea is to provide, for those that don't know, I should start from this, there's sort of an occupation, I don't know how to describe this exactly, occupation of Wall Street and the world's financial districts by many, many thousands of protesters in well over 100 countries. Actually, I think it's, thousands of cities. It's one of the biggest social movements I can remember in my lifetime. Granted, I am pretty young, but hopefully people can remember bigger ones. But I was pretty excited to be part of it and kind of help out where I could. And the first thing I did was I organized a music show, and I'll show you a quick clip from that. And also give you kind of a general idea of what the protest is like. And just as a general FYI, it's the basic concept of the protest is it's 99% is kind of the slogan, because 99% of the people in the world do not own the world's wealth in a very basic way. So it's sort of trying to make an umbrella of people to build something better, and it's very much an outspoken protest against the banks and the foreclosures that have occurred since the market crash in 2009.
To show my solidarity with the folks who've been camping out here in San Francisco in front of the Federal Reserve Building for about a week. They've been dealing with the cops on a regular basis, and they're doing this in solidarity with the Occupy Wall Street action.
That's great.
We would find any single delegate where we're here together for the love of it, and I'm seeing that reacting with peace rather than the violence of these will always know that we can silence the streets is far too strong for any people to try to act young, because government's an illusion that's lasted too long, and maybe it's up to us to cast and look long into the mirror and see that it's really just a reflection of humanity, the same insanities we can find in these different descriptions, but really my mind is looking for goodness that's in every vision, and I know even from the people beating on you and stealing in possessions, it's lessons, because it's really just confusion. So if we work together and learn, we can earn a better future and put it to work. It's time for us to fix the earth.
So that's a basic small piece of a show I helped organize. All the sound equipment actually used for that, very large portion of it was supplied in broken pieces by Noisebridge and fixed up by me. And there's a lot of laptop batteries that were salvaged and used for that. So, but let me get to the more technical side of things. I have I apologize for kind of the last minuteness of this. This was I just heard about this today. I was asked to do this 5 minutes of fame thing. So this is the sound system, and at least part of it. And you see, this is a subwoofer, and then we have, this is actually an amp that Ruben gave me. Thank you, Ruben, if you're here. And this was also a mixer found and repaired at Noisebridge. This Jake gave to me, found and repaired at Noisebridge. So there's a lot of Noisebridge involvement in this, which is great. And in the Power Station group that we have an email list for right now, MCT, Jake, Ruben, Rachel, and some other people are a part of it. And people are welcome to join and help out. So one of the big problems with the protest, one of the, I should say, challenges, is figuring out how to make equipment run for a very long time on deep cycle batteries, lead acid card batteries. And so this has been a unique challenge for anyone technically minded, because we're very much used to wall sockets and sort of the luxury of having a lot of power at our disposal as far as energy. And so this is something I've been studying for years, is how to make portable sound equipment and things generally run with a high efficiency, which is not what a lot of technologies are meant to be designed around. And so one problem they have is people charging their cell phones, which constantly need to be on so people can connect to the internet and everything like that. One thing people were doing is they were taking AC adapters with a 5-volt, USB plug and plugging in their cell phones and charging from that. The problem with that is you're taking a 12-volt car battery, you're inverting it, to 110 volt wall outlet, and then you're putting in an AC adapter for a cell phone to take it back down to 5 volts. That is tremendously wasteful of power. So what I did is I built this, and this is a very simple, because the idea for this is to take 12 volts and make it 5 volts. Just to step it down, to save the energy, and make the batteries last a lot longer. So this was a one-day hack that I came up with. It's in a Tupperware container found in the kitchen of Noisebridge. And it's got some Noisebridge stickers there. And the simple idea is there's 4 USB ports. There's one here, and there's 3 here. And we had to do some research to find out that apparently Apple iPhones, the newer model, has a specific requirement of a circuit they have, so that you have to buy Apple's little proprietary white cube to charge your phone. So we found some information online to hack that, so these can charge iPhones and Androids that don't have that proprietary protection. And then this right in here, this is your converter. If I have enough time, I'd like to explain some of the electronics behind that. It's actually really simple, and I'd love to, and I'm planning to in the very soon future, to teach a basic class around hardware technology and power conversion circuits, because this knowledge is really important, I think. And the simple idea of this is this: you see this little coil right here? That stores the power in that coil, and in these large capacitors here. And that's what makes it convert very efficiently, rather than just stepping it down with what's called a 7805 circuit, which just turns all the excess voltage into heat and wastes the power. And so I added fuses and LEDs to show that each port was working, because you don't want somebody breaking their phone and then coming after us, or me, I should say. And there's information on here for our email group that we set up, and for Noisebridge generally, to kind of get the Noisebridge name out there. So it's a kind of a mutual benefit situation, because it increases the popularity of Noisebridge. I've already had a lot of people express interest in coming to the space and getting involved with Noisebridge through this. And the other thing I just built, and this is a terrible picture of it, I might have a better one here, is, here's a laptop conversion, DC to DC converter is what it's called, and it's another step-down converter. And what this does, the other problem is people were taking this car battery, again, turning it to 110 volts, and then plugging in their Apple power supplies, which then would take it back down to 19 volts, and then they plug it into their power book. So again, you have this huge cycle of changing energy, which requires a lot of energy to do, and is again very expensive as when it comes to energy. So I built this converter, which will just take the 12 volts and actually step it up to 19. And this white thing here, this is a power book plug, so you can charge laptops on site with this and save a terrific amount of energy. And it's using the same concept as the other circuit. The other thing that is wonderful is Jake built a bicycle charger for recharging their car batteries on site, and I believe I have a video of it here. Yes, this is me talking to Jake.
Only water. You can.
No, because you'd have to drink 2 pots of coffee in order to have enough energy.
It's not sufficient. I can totally make a portable coffee maker. It's my next project. So here's the bike generator. That's an unhappy sound. Yeah, it's also... We're also kind of blocking the heatsink a little bit on this guy.
It's a bear! Revolution!
Yeah, bike power.
Bike power! Bike power!
And lots of food and pizza. I should get a piece of pizza. Dude, this camera I fixed for Milo is working great.
That's the bicycle generator, and I wish Jake was here, because he could tell how it works, but that's actually been the most impressive thing, the thing that most people have mostly been impressed with. And it is kind of amazing, because one thing that's been needed desperately is to have people take the batteries and recharge them at home and bring them back to the site. And that's another thing that if anyone wants to volunteer or get involved, that is a great way people can help. And for the meantime, though, that bike generator, Jake built one for Occupy San Francisco and Occupy Oakland, For those that don't know, these occupation things are popping up all over the country and the world. And so it uses, I'm not sure how it works exactly, but it does charge the batteries, and it has a voltmeter, and people are always riding it and having a good time. And then this is the laptop step-down converter I built in use, and there's the power book, and you can see it. That's it right there. It's not the greatest picture, but I think we're getting pretty close on time. Yeah. I mean, I have more to talk about. I don't know if people want to hear more. If we're getting close on time. Oh, no questions. All right. That sounds like a good way to do it. Anybody?
I don't know if you mentioned this, but are the blueprints for how to do this stuff on like Occupy Wall Street or whatever?
They are not. If I had more time, I was going to show that part. It's actually all right here. In fact, while I'm taking questions, I can open it up so you can see it quick. It's the circuits done for this have been around for a very long time, and there's many of them. This is one of my favorites. It's a national semiconductor circuit called the LM2577. There's a newer one, LM2588. This is the schematic for it, and it's a very, very simple circuit. And there's a bazillion versions out there, and it's as you can see. I mean, I don't know how many people here read schematics, but this right here would be one part. This right here would be one part. I mean, it's a combination of less than 10 parts. So you can build this thing, in an hour from scratch. Yeah. Other questions? I think I saw you in the back.
Just a comment on this, and if you're really lazy, you can get all of this already soldered onto the board by looking for something called a point of load regulator. That's the name they use for it. It's more expensive, but if you're really lazy, you can bring those.
Yeah, or I would add if you have like lots, or if you have some money to spare as well, it helps. Because and actually that is what I'm going to be doing, because these circuits can be gotten very cheap now, and so I'm going to be getting some donations from the Occupy, because people have been donating a lot of money, and you can get really fancy ones. That one that I showed you for the step-down laptop, or step-up laptop converter, is only $10 with shipping, free shipping online. Trinity, yes?
Whatever happened with the laptops you were working on like down there?
Yes, so I had a picture of that too. I forgot about that. I also fixed some laptops here and spent a little bit of some time doing it. This is a picture of them. These were all scrapped garbage from Noisebridge, collected in different ways. Actually, John donated one of the screens for this to me, which is very generous of him. He's in the back right now. And that's the one with the green sticker. But these are T40s, and T40s are IBM ThinkPads. They're like maybe 5 years old, 6 years old. They're still very effective Pentium 4 machines, and they do have some hardware flaws that I had to overcome and could not find the information of online. So if anyone wants the information, I definitely would like to get it out there for how to repair this. The big problem is that the GPU and the north bridge of the motherboard is not heat sinked. And there's some other small, which turn into major, actually, hardware flaws. So a lot of these are found in dumpsters in different areas and can all be salvaged. In fact, everything for this project, all these things were salvaged.
What are they being used for in reference to?
Good question. So the laptops specifically are being used primarily for live streaming, which is to give a live video feed of what's going on all the time, which I find amazingly helpful because even just the other night, I wasn't sure if it was kind of like worth going down there for fun, and there were like all these people playing guitar and sharing food and stuff, and I could see that live while it was going on, so I went down there and hung out with them. The other thing it's being used is for media connecting, for updating the website as well, and posting, photos of what's going on. A big part of this movement has been very quick delivery of information, and it's, I think, one of the first big movements to use a lot of really new technologies, and so it's really easy, or it's really interesting to see how that's playing out. So it's been, like, especially when there's new events happening and marches and different things, it's really good to give coverage of that immediately and to give a very accurate description of what's going on there, because it changes, all the time. And so that's the main thing it's being used for. Also for internet access has been pretty important down there too. And any more questions?
Yeah, I
when I was reading news reports of Occupy Wall Street, I thought it was really interesting that they were taking an explicitly leaderless. They were not using leaders, and they were going for a consensus-based approach, which seems again very similar to Noisebridge.
Absolutely. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Actually, there's a ton I could talk about around that. But one thing that really impressed me, I actually heard about this and really decided to get involved when someone announced Occupy SF at a Noisebridge meeting. And I kind of joke around the tech situation over there is a little bit hectic right now, and I kind of joke around that it's like Noisebridge if nobody ever cleaned up.
It's like Noisebridge.
So we have to give some credit to some people down here, especially Milo. He's always cleaning up the tech area. But yeah, so it's sort of like Noisebridge. I can imagine maybe when it started out, like it's a very new thing, and the leaderless thing has actually played out very well. I'm very impressed with it because having been to a lot of protests and activist type work in this city in the past couple of years, I've seen. In my experience, when I've wanted to help with stuff like this and artwork and other things that I do, there has been a huge brick wall of bureaucracy I've had to go through, and it makes me, it makes I think a lot of people feel like worthless and not able to, not being able to contribute in the smallest way. Whereas since this is so, universally democratic, people are able to. I mean, when I wanted to do that music show, I didn't really have to talk to a bunch of people and go through hours of consensus meetings or approvals or anything. It was just like, you want to do a music show, just come by and do it. And the same with this stuff, which has been really great because I've been able to plug in very quickly, very easily, and saved a lot of headache and energy going through things that don't really help. It's better to just go down there and do it. It's a duocracy method, like Noisebridge. It's the same kind of thing. If you don't like the e-waste bin being full, you take it out. Any more questions? Ready?
Yeah, one last thing. They were mentioning on Occupy Wall Street, or at least a couple of people on the mailing list, that they were still looking for a line of sight to anywhere in the Justin Herman Plaza. So if there's any...
Oh, yes, thank you for bringing that up. Actually, there's a few points like that. This is all very last minute. But yes, there is a very big need for help with internet access down there, and one thing brought up was the line of sight. So somebody being in the area of Justin Herman Plaza that would be willing to give some sort of access as far as internet, reaching internet through a window or something like that. If that's
Does anyone work in Salesforce, Autodesk, Del Monte, or any of the other buildings in one market? They're in easy companies.
There you go. Yeah, there's if anyone's anywhere near there ever, other than going to this thing, which is the only time I'm in that area, it would be awesome if you could help out with some internet access. It's definitely been a struggle, and there's not a lot of tech knowledge there. The tech knowledge is very low right now, and so Noisebridge has been a tremendous help to them in so many ways. And again, the great thing about that is it all comes back to the appreciation of Noisebridge and more people getting involved and hopefully donating to the space.